Ooh. Skip one for the head. Motivation.
I smoke 2 joints in the morning.
What?
I smoke 2 joints at night.
Okay, okay.
I smoke 2 joints in the afternoon.
Oh, all the time.
It makes me feel all right.
I'm here to take you higher. This is Big Pontiac, the Time Walker. Maybe I should have shut this blind because it's not a light. I can barely see the screen. But anyway, this is my weekly showing the outcome of how I did on my picks this week. Again, this is all for fun and games. And so, I'm going to go through it. It is one other thing, but I'll talk about that a little later. Like one thing you kind of saw this week is we saw a lot of home losses. Like Detroit lost to Minnesota. Now Minnesota ain't hardly sacked nobody all year. The offense ain't been clicking. He comes back and he clicks. I mean, we look at these setups. They called a touchdown back. Now the Vikings had a touchdown they called back too, so I'll say that. But Detroit's defense didn't play worth a crap. They've been shutting down people all year. All of a sudden, the Detroit defense ain't shit. So it was interesting the way they were doing the games. Now we did see a football manipulation, a 60-yard field goal. Remember, he made a 70-yard field goal during the preseason, but a 68-yard motherfucking field goal. And they making 70-yard field goals. Ooh, and I don't know why I did that. And we're supposed to think that, okay. And we're supposed to think that that's real. We're supposed to think that there's no manipulation. I mean, Tony Romo told you a week or so ago that there's chips in the balls. I mean, there's been chips in the balls. They can make them balls do anything. We saw the dude hit the field goal. And remember, a few years ago, dude hit the field goal post 5 times in a row. He missed all his field goals that game. So we know that they can sway the ball. Because kickers know, like you watch kickers, and they know when a kick should go in. And you can see the surprise when they push the balls away. And we see it where the ball is just going straight, and they'll kill it. Or the other thing they do is they you can see it veer away. It's like straight, and anybody knows a soccer ball. And remember, as I said many times, to bend them like Beckham ball. But we know they can manipulate balls, and that's what we saw a lot of. But it was just funny, all the teams that lost at home. So, I picked the Ravens to win. Giants losing at home. The Lions losing at home. I picked the Chargers. I picked the Pats. Colts losing on the road, which to the Steelers. The Colts losing to the Steelers made no sense at all. Didn't watch the game, wasn't in my area. The Texans won last week, and the Texans lost. I mean, it's like all of a sudden they couldn't play. I picked the Bears. I got lucky with the Bears. The Packers losing to the Panthers. Come on. The Packers have too good a defense to lose to them. Hey, Big Stank, thanks for joining. I picked the Rams. Raiders was a toss-up. I picked the Raiders. I picked the Bills, and I picked the Seahawks. And then the worst I can be, I picked the Cowboys for the night because I've just been rolling with the Cowboys. It's like I've been rolling with the Broncos too. And the Broncos, and I don't know, I just switched, but I should have kept rolling with the Broncos. Matter of fact, I got the Broncos to win this Thursday night. I think they're Thursday. And so even if the Cowboys lose, the worst I'm going to be is 7-8. Right now, I'm at 7-7. Seahawks game, that game was in the pocket. Hey, Dr. Sinister, thank you for joining. So that game was really there. So right now for the season, I'm 89, I'm 87, 39, and 1. So that's my overall season ranking, and you can break down the percentages. Um, and so, 7 for 7. Um, Last week I was 7-6. Week before I was 13-2. That's been my best week. Week before I was 8-7. 6-8 was my worst week so far. This one's 9-6. The week before I was 9-6. The week before, and 14-2. Week 2. So I've had a couple weeks of 14s and 2s, 13-2 and a 14-2. And my first week I was 13-3. So, and I can see, you can see where, and that's the thing about manipulated sports. You still have to outthink them. So you still have to look at everything and outthink what you think how they're fixing it. As I always said, they got the egghead man in the room. And how is he he's doing these on in-game bets. They working the hell out the little egghead man in the room. Where the Matrix had all them TVs and shit, where there's a little egghead man that's got all the games, showing every moment, all the little parlays, all the in-game bets. Is so-and-so going to get a catch? Is so-and-so going to... the egghead man is working all that. And a lot of people might call that AI. Could be. Now, there was another thing. And so... and this is the bummer, is I have YouTube TV, and right now YouTube TV has cut off ESPN and ABC. So I'm gonna have to go to a bar. Maybe I'm gonna go to a bar. I know my wife was planning on cooking at home, but I'm going somewhere to watch the game. Maybe not, because it's the thing where fuck it, I miss it. So what? I'll see the highlights. It's like football. The world don't revolve around football. That's what they wanted. They want everybody just, but and I'm looking at the packages to get ESPN, and it's like, I see why YouTube TV was like, fuck ESPN. You want too much bread, and really they do. But really where they have you is they have you the Monday night games, but really where it's important to have ESPN is college basketball. Because college basketball, like what we're about to see, you got to have ESPN, I think, for the national championship on football. You have to, I think it's ESPN that's going to have the football national championship. I have to see, but normally you have to have cable to see the football national championship. And definitely you have to have, it's definitely you got to have it on the national, you have to have some kind of cable plan on when basketball season, when the championship. So we have to see how that goes. Let's see. I wonder if shit was fucking up earlier. Let's see if I kept the shit I wanted to keep. I don't think I kept. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, okay. I'll read this in a second. So again, we have to follow the cues, and see that's. I don't watch the talking heads anymore because it was stupid for the first place to have 10 different shows talking about the same damn thing. That's some of the stupidest things that television does. And Fox still does this. Fox still has 2 or 3 people, and they all talk about the same thing. And I guess if you watch the regular news, that's the same way. If you watch the news, the same thing is talked about all the time. The national news is about to come up in about an hour. You got the local news and national news. And, you have to read through what's propaganda, what's real, because that's what a lot of it is. It's like a lot of people hot about Trump's interview. And the funny thing about it is I thought she didn't ask the tough questions because, again, why, they hold the FCC license. So that's how they holding them hostages. That's why they all paid them. Say, well, I'm going to get y'all for slander if y'all don't break me off. And then my guy here is not going to give you your license. So he's using, the Oval Office as a type of blackmail, type of holding a bag over somebody's head. And so the questions were mild. But she put him on the spot and shows his dishonesty, showing the list that we know is the dishonest list. He did not stop the war in Pakistan. They still fighting everywhere. They pretty much still fighting everywhere. Maybe Vietnam, they were not fighting it, or in Cambodia, they're not fighting as much. And, you know, if they haven't done it today, let's see, did they do it today? They talking about striking. They want all that oil for Argentina. But, you know, this is the question when I think about Argentina, the thing about this is, where was Argentina? We needed so much. If we had Argentina then, why was the Gulf War? Wasn't that for oil? Isn't that what they told us? That the Gulf War was for oil? No, it doesn't look like he struck today. Let's see. I don't think he struck today. Again, I've been on the move. I played like 2 hours of pickleball. 9 times released again, despite alleged violent history. Well, I'll get handed disappointing kickoff time. Who cares? Yeah, it doesn't look like he attacked so far today. Teen kills 3 people with his Porsche, then darts home to call his rich father with significant resources. Diane Ladd. Okay. Ooh, she's 89. She's older than my mother. Ted Cruz watched his father beat his mother, faced him, then faced himself. Wow. Drake accused of fraudulent streams and class action suits. So it does not look like there was any attack today. Now, because I can look here too. No, it doesn't look like there was any attack today. So no hard questions. You know, it was just a lot of mild questions and stuff. So if you follow that kind of thing. CW 35 thanks. I called Dodgers winning the World Series before the season started. Wow. You made dope. Okay. And that's a nice bet. That's what I used to always do in the Kentucky Derby is right after the present Kentucky Derby, get my bet in for next year. You know, because what is it? 3-year-olds they race in Kentucky Derby? And watch all the 2-year-olds and you know, look at how the 2-year-olds are doing and make that bet because you can make a little more bread. Like the ball going under the fence, held in the mat, that helped him. I mean, again, it was like you can see, they try to sell you. They try to sell you a thing. So they kept saying, well, it's been, since Joe Carter's walk-off home run in 92, I think, 92, 93, the 2 years they won it in a row. And they kept giving you references to that. Now, I'm not surprised they put Oshani, they gave him the shaming ritual where he didn't pitch that good on 3 days. Again, I wasn't surprised, but again, it's better to be shamed than killed. But that was all that was this shaming ritual. They was pumping up that other pitcher that won MVP. That's 2 years in a row these Asian cats done won MVP. And you know, you really look at it like, are they necessary? Is Asian baseball that good? I mean, is that good? Is it that good? You know? But yet, given the opportunity to play against America's best will make you better or break you or keep you stuck in the minors for years. That's what people don't talk about. A lot of the people from South America, Mexico, the islands that get in is, 10-year career in the minors, which now they make good money. You can be a millionaire. You can make $1 million a year in the minors. That went back to when they drafted Brian Taylor. Remember, he didn't even play. He got remember him? I think his name was Brian Taylor. He was the #1 baseball pick in the 80s, I think, and got in a fight in South Carolina and tore up his arm, fucked up his arm in a bar fight. And I don't think he ever played pro ball, but I think he got a signing buddy. But he was the first $1 million out of high school dude. But in a bar fight where, your arms and stuff, you just not smart. But you can, what do you say? You can take the boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the boy. So. But the way they fixed it was interesting. I mean, again, the bases loaded, you couldn't get any hits. And then it was like you could really see that the double play was going to be the next move. You saw that was how the game was going to really end, And then, they make a hero, the dude who tied the game up, they make the hero, that ain't been getting a hit, ain't got what they say, ain't hit a homer since September, something like that. The dude hadn't hit a home run since September. So, entertaining though. And I've always, I watch baseball. Baseball's always been entertaining. When I was a little boy, it was my perfect way to take a nap. I watch 6, 7 innings and take a nap. Um, I was trying to think well, I guess the first time I went to a football game, I was 2 years old. First, I know my 12th birthday, I saw the Tigers play. But I think the same year, earlier that year, when I was 11, I saw the Lions play. I think my first pro football game was the Lions and the Eagles. That's why I'm an Eagles fan. Lions and Eagles when Roman Gabriel was playing. Because my second pro football game I watched, or my third, would have been Vikings and Lions with Fran Tarkenton playing at Old Tiger Stadium where you're sitting behind beams and shit. So, well, I wasn't going to go on very long. This is going to be a short show. But I did want to read this. And, it's kind of... this kind of hits like what this reality is and what it isn't. I'm a very spiritual person, and as I was saying, for Halloween, the veil really thins. But the beautiful thing about this time of year is the dark nights, and there's a lot more activity, spiritual activity that goes on at night. And that's where cats is cool. Cats do a lot of work you just don't realize. Because cats at night, they doing a lot of spiritual work, and they'll keep a lot of spiritual things off of you. Now, they ain't going to carry the whole burden, but a lot of things when you dreaming and stuff, having the cats around and just the way energies move. Now, I put selenite in all my windows, which I would recommend. It's like a barrier. It's like almost a spiritual barrier. Now, I mean, we let things in so much, other ways. But that's one way that you can like create a spiritual barrier, is just put selenite in all your windows. And it really, it's, and I know you may not think that bad negative energies can just float into your crib, but they can. And a lot of times, you kind of carry that with you. But a lot of times, if somebody has some fucked up intentions, that shit could just carry into your house. And just fucked up energies that if you live around fucked up energies. And so this kind of puts a barrier everywhere. Now in my bedroom, I have this in every corner, and this is black kyanite. And so again, the way Americans should do it is like what the Mayan taught you and the Omen before them, is you line up everything like a terrace. You put everything like a terrace, and that gives you a lot of protection. So this article is called Mathematical Proof That Debunks the Idea That the Universe is a Computer Simulation. And the most important part is, I want to get this part out. Okay, so the findings was in the American Journal of Holography and Applications of Physics. Go beyond simple suggesting that we're not living in a simulated world like the Matrix. They prove something more profound. The universe is built on a type of understanding that exists beyond the reach of any algorithm. It's been suggested the universe could be simulated. If such a simulation was possible, the simulated universe could itself give rise to life, which might in turn create its own simulation. This recursive possibility makes it seem highly unlikely that our universe is the original room, rather than a simulation nestled with another simulation. The idea was once thought to lie beyond the reach of scientific inquiry. However, recent research has demonstrated that it can in fact be scientifically addressed. The research hinges on a fascinating property of reality itself. Modern physics has moved far beyond Newton's tangible stuff, bouncing around in space. Einstein's theory of relativity replaced Newton's mechanics. Quantum mechanics transform our understanding again. Today, cutting-edge theory, quantum gravity, suggests that even space and time are fundamental. They emerge from something deeper, pure information. The information exists what physicists call a Platonic realm, a mathematical foundation more real than the physical universe we experience. It is from this realm that space and time and themselves emerge. Here's where it gets interesting. The teams demonstrated even the information-based foundation cannot be fully describe reality using computation alone. They use powerful mathematical theorems, including Google's incompleteness theorem, to prove that a complete and consistent description of everything requires what they call non-algorithmic understanding. Think of it this way: a computer follows recipes step by step, no matter how complex. But some truths can only be grasped through non-algorithmic understanding. Understanding that doesn't follow any sequence of a logical steps. No steps. These Gödelian truths are real, yet impossible to prove through computation. Let me read that again. A computer follows recipes step by step, no matter how complex. But some truths can only be grasped through non-algorithmic understanding. Understanding that doesn't follow from a sequence of logical steps. These Gödelian truths are real, yet impossible to prove through computation. Here's a basic example of using the statement. This is true. This true statement is not provable. If it were provable, it would be false, making logic inconsistent. If it's not provable, then it's true. But what makes any system trying to prove its incomplete either way, pure computation fails. So what it's saying is the science of math can't describe everything. Time can, but science and math can't. That's what it's saying. The quantum of science, maybe that's his name. He tries to say we live in some kind of simulation, but this saying it can't be a pure simulation because there's things that go on that can't be described, and they're true, but they cannot be proved through math or theorems. So we have demonstrated that it is possible to describe all aspects of physical reality using a computational theory of quantum gravity. Therefore, no physically complete and consistent theory of everything can be derived from computation alone. Rather, it requires non-algorithmic understanding, which is more fundamental than the computational laws of quantum gravity and therefore more fundamental than space-time itself. Since the computational rules in planic realm could, in principle, resemble those of a computer simulation, couldn't that realm itself be simulated? No, say the researchers. The work reveals something deeper, drawing on mathematical theorems related to incompleteness and indefensibility. We demonstrate that a fully consistent and complete description of reality cannot be achieved through computation alone. It requires non-algorithmic understanding, which by definition is beyond algorithmic computation, and therefore it can't be simulated. Hence, this universe cannot be a simulation. The fundamental laws of physics cannot be contained within space and time because they generate them. It has long been hoped, however, that a truly fundamental theory of everything could eventually describe all physical phenomena through computations grounded in these laws. Yet we have demonstrated that it is not possible. A complete and consistent description of reality requires something deeper, a form of understanding known as non-algorithmic understanding. The team's conclusion is clear and marks an important scientific achievement. Any simulation is inherently algorithmic. It must follow program rules, but since the fundamental level of reality is based on non-algorithmic understanding, the universe cannot be and could never be a simulation. The simulation hypothesis was long considered untestable, regulated to philosophy and even science fiction rather than science. The research brings it firmly into the domain of mathematics and physics and gives you a definite answer. So I wanted to hit people with that. And so we don't live in a type of simulation. Now, what we could live in is, just like I was saying, there's an egghead man in a room, reality is a lot like that as well. There is something that is less than a God. It's not a God. Whatever kind of tries to fuck with this, fuck with that, it's not a God. Let's get that straight. And this kind of tells you that. So the fake part, and some quantum science says that does make sense, is they're trying to bring the fake in, the non-reality, the less fake stuff instead of the real realities. It is a lot of that. And AI definitely wants to bring a lot of that. Remember the hologram from Star Trek? I mean, they really want that, way to get out of the reality and kind of live something that really it wasn't your time to be at, and try to live that and bring that in. And that's a total simulation. And even though you're reacting with everything, that's the holographic kind of world. Even though you're reacting in everything, Valeria, Land of a Thousand Cities. Remember where, you had to be in a certain vibration. You had to wear something to even see the vibration of these other beings. Remember that part? So it wasn't that part wasn't real, because that part was real. It's just you could not see it normally without some electronic help. And in some ways, even spiritual help, to see certain things. Especially when you meditate, you have to have some spiritual help to see other realities. And the realities that are there all the time. It's like when you meditate, whatever you can see, it's like some people don't realize that's there all the time. It's just your vibration is not high enough to perceive it all the time. If that makes any sense. So I wanted to get that in today, for those of you that wonder. That's what it is. It's those of you that wonder, I mean, it's like sports is just one part of life is scripted sports. I follow that and I love sports. And, in the sacred ball game, I told you about pickleball. Pickleball is a perfect example of the sacred ball game. You've got twins playing against twins, but yet without cooperation, the game really can't be played. Both sides have to cooperate because the balls go crazy. And if people don't cooperate to throw the balls to the other side, I mean, like, fuck you, come get the ball your own self. You can never play. So it's a game of cooperation. Yes, there's a winner and a loser, but it's the hero twins where we're competing against each other. So Dodgers and Blue Jays, Drake versus Kendrick is a stage. They both from the cities. Yeah, I caught that too. And you notice I think they only showed Drake at one game. No, Drake I only think came in the division series. I don't think they showed Drake at any World Series games. So, but yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point about it all. And it's a bummer baseball's over because, October is the time where all the sports is going at once. And still all the sports are going except baseball. All the other winter sports are now kicking in, but it's kind of cool where you have all the sports, all our major sports are still in play. So, and people forget the football season is almost halfway over. Football is not long. We're into week 8, going into week 9. So now there's 9 more games, since they extended, I think, 17 games now. So, but it's a good night. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch the game tonight. I'm gonna get to watch the game tonight. I'll have to go somewhere if I do, which really, it ain't that big a deal. Not really with the Cowboys playing. It ain't really that big a deal. So, and I must say, I lost out on getting the Jordan Chicago's. So far, my local Nike shop didn't get them. I should have ordered them. I should have been on top of it and just fucking ordered them. But my man said they thought they was getting them in and they didn't get them in. I went back today and he said, I didn't talk to the manager. I talked to the manager Saturday and he said sometime this week. So it's a possibility because the Mall of America Nike store is our big regional store. It's the regional Nike store, you dig? So, and I had ordered some clothes from Nike and I had to take that shit back. I don't know if I could, let me see if I could find that shit. If I can find that shit. That shit was some bullshit, y'all. I ordered some shit. I should have showed y'all this shit I ordered. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this bullshit to come up. That shit came. That ain't it. Let me see. That ain't it. That ain't it. Let me see if I can find any of this shit. I don't see it. Let's see. No. Man, this shit came. This shit looked like some fucking pajamas. I don't see it through here. Let's see. No, that ain't it. I mean, this shit came and again, holiday shit, you can only wear it for a couple months. And this shit cost me $160 for the top and bottom. That shit came. I was like, nah, I can't do this shit. It like looks like some shit you would wear, for the Christmas pictures or some shit when it came. And I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about either when I bought this shit. Let's just get into Nike. Yeah, let's just get into Nike. Let me see. Hoodies and pullovers. Let me see if there's ugly shit in here. That went down in price? Oh, it did. Oh man, but I got some sweet shit at the NBA store. I'm gonna just wear it one day. I ain't gonna show it. But that shit is sweet. I'm telling you, pro standard. That I don't know if you like monogram shit. Where is this ugly shit? Come on, I know you guys got it in here. I don't know if I'm in my account. I don't think so. But this shit was so ugly, y'all. And I admit, I bought that shit and it came. I ain't even unbag it. And like, you know, when you get shit from Nike, all you can see I'm not looking as washed out. The sun has went behind the building. Yeah, I didn't even take the shit out the package. When the shit came, I was like, how often I'm gonna be able to wear some holiday Nike shit? Not very motherfucking often. Come on, no. Here's this shit. Okay. This is the shit I bought. I took this shit back. This is some clown looking shit. I must admit, this is some clown looking shit, y'all. I mean, where did you go wear this shit? You know, and when it came, I was like, this shit look like pajamas. I mean, don't this shit look like pajamas? This shit looks like pajamas, y'all. And so I took this shit back. I was like, yeah, how often am I gonna be able to wear this bullshit? You know. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought this shit, because this is just Christmas wear shit. It's like, well, you know, the Winter's Olympics, and I did like this little, but this is some bullshit. I mean, it's some nice little details, but overall, this is some clown looking shit, you know. And I did like that, but that's about it. That's about it, you know. This is some clown looking shit. So I took this shit back. I had to take that shit back. I was like 160 for this shit. I was like, I'm gonna buy me another pickleball paddle. I'm gonna go buy me another paddle. But I got some shit from the NBA store that's nice. But yeah, I had to take that shit back. I was like, yeah, this is some bullshit here. That's some shit, you know, you wear in the Christmas pictures where everybody match. But $160, I don't think everybody gonna be matching too much. The dude who I turned it into, he's like, wow, you didn't like this? I'm like, hell no, that shit look like pajamas. I like, that is some pajama looking shit. Like, yeah, I can't do it, buddy. I got to turn it in. And especially 160 bucks. Yeah, that shit is only 2 months wear. You know, you're gonna look funny in a motherfucker wearing that shit in spring. So I was like, I don't know what I was thinking buying that shit. You know, you get psyched out sometime. You say, I can put this with this outfit, but it, you know, it'd be some bullshit. It'd be some bullshit when you really look at it. I'm looking for this other jacket. I saw it was on sale. Man, I saw the NBA store got the full Timberwolves hookup, but I already got one. I mean, of course, mine is a couple years old, but I don't need another full outfit. Mine is even the throw off pants. You know, the pants, the snap up pants. I got the shit they wore that year, and it don't look that different than what I got. So I was like, yeah, I'm not buying another set. I already got a set, so I'm not buying another set. Ah, here it is. Kind of like this. Man, it went back on. It's on sale too. I like this. I don't know about the pants, but I like the top. I don't think I do the pants. Pants is too. I don't like the bagginess, but this motherfucker was 160 by itself. Got the Timberwolves color. That's what I like about it. Nice and thick. I kind of like this. 136. I don't know. I don't know if I really need another coat hoodie. I don't know. So I don't know. I definitely know for the pants, but the top ain't bad. It's a coat. Sustainable material. So I don't know. I like the colors. It's the Timberwolves colors. But yeah, I didn't have a lot to say today. I'm gonna do another show where I predict next week's games. Like I said, I got the Ravens Thursday night. I knew the Ravens was gonna win. I mean, that didn't surprise me. Let's see, gender. Let's see. Man, I don't care about the shoes. See if they got. Damn, they only showing shoes. Oh, tops and shirts. Let's see. One little funky T-shirt. Damn. Damn, Converse, Nike Converse. Hey, no, because they had a sweet sweatshirt I saw at cons. It had the patch like on the shoe. They ain't had my size though. That shit was kind of sweet though. You know, I got 3 or 4 pair of cons. I don't got a pair of. Oh, that's right. There was a pair of con boots I was gonna look at. They say are good boots. Hey, Finity. Hey, what's up? Thank you for joining. Finity 800804. Thank you for joining me. They don't even show these motherfuckers. It's supposed to be a good pair of warm boots that Cons makes, but they ain't even on the site. Like they got some boots for girls, but not the unisex. Now these ain't no unisex shit. Hike, what is more? Run Star hike platforms. Nah, I can't do the platforms. My daughter had a few pairs, so Nike's on some bullshit. Let's see. How do I get back into? Oh, okay. Clothing, apparel, clothing, fitness cart, clothing. I don't see where they got just the shoes. Yeah, so. Yeah, I got rid of the clown outfit. I'd have wore that shit on here and y'all have been talking about me for years. Been like, this dude is tripping. What does he got on? Oh, here we go. Let's see. I'm passing on these. Don't need another pair of these. Pass. Pass on the Jaws. It's funny. I'm surprised that these aren't cheaper because they got a new shoe out. These look just like the shoes I got, except they got the flames on it. But I got the same colorway, but just orange and gray like this, but just don't have the flames on it. So don't need them. Pass on all these. Freaks make good shoes, especially playing pickleball. And the Jaws, okay, I'm not buying them. I got all black pair of these, so don't need another pair. These are interesting just because the comfort of walking. Same with these, just the comfort of walking. Pass on them. I could have got a pair of them. I normally buy every LeBron that comes out. And they still have my size, 13, 14. I don't know though. I would rather get the Jordans. But not to say these are some comfortable ass shoes, I'll tell you that, but they just lose their price. They lose their value really quickly. Did I jump that far? Oh, and this is the new shit. This is their new ones. Probably sold out. Oh, okay. They dropping these next week. Yeah, these are sell out. I don't know if you're hip to these. These are their new ones. So this is what their new slide is going to look like. Some of the retailers already been showing them. Or some of the people that are with the Nike, you know, they got the. So probably super comfortable, but they look more like the older style shoes. Pass on those. I like this, but a better colorway. Pass. Comfortable just to walk around in. Again, looks pretty comfortable, but a summer shoe for sure. Definitely something you wear in the summer. And these are 145. Come out next week. I wanted to bring my new Tatums up here, my older Tatums. The materials crap. I'm just saying this, the materials crap, and I think most people agree. I'm starting to understand the cushioning in here, and to do pickleball with my insoles, they're not bad. But I'll tell you what I have problems with my other pair, my pair from last year, is the grip. The grip's not slidey and squeaky, but and it grips though, but it's funny. Like it feels, but you never slip or anything. I'll say that you never slip, but they just don't feel grippy until you move and you see that they are grippy. So, pass on them. Pass on all these. Pass, pass, pass. All right. So I think they still got these. Yeah, you see how readily available these are? I could have got these, but you see these are sold out. So I'm gonna have to get them on Snickers. I just thought really all the detail, the detail of these with the swoosh, really, I thought this was a clever pair. And with the wing. So I'm gonna have to get these through another way, but I didn't need this pair. And the only unique thing about this pair, and I could have got it, but these are patent leather, mainly a patent leather shoe. So, but in that colorway, so I could have got these pink ones, but I wanted the white ones, so I waited. So I'm gonna see how much on Snickers and how much I'm gonna have to drop to get them on Snickers. Why is it not? Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna forever love shoes. You see all the shoes and boots behind me. I'm gonna forever love clothes until I'm an old man, doing clothes and stuff. So, you look good, you feel good. That's all I say. And you should buy quality stuff. That's it. Quality stuff lasts a lot longer than just regular plain stuff. Like I was going to bring a pair of my socks because you got to beware of buying at what is it, Ross, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. Watch buying Nike socks because they don't be dry fit. Because my wife was like, "Oh, here we go. Why don't you just get these socks?" And and I was like, "Okay, Nike socks. I need Nike summer socks. I just I go through a couple pair of socks a day usually if I'm active." And then I got to look and I'm like, "Oh, these ain't dry fit." And then I looked at them closer and it's like they look like knockoffs. They do not look like real Nike socks. They look like knockoffs. So be aware. Be aware of getting Nike socks at Marshalls, TJ Maxx. Yeah, they don't be dry fit. Make sure they're dry fit because you want dry fit Nike socks. You don't want the knockoffs. It's a better sock. It is definitely a better socks. So yeah, I meant to show because I got a bunch of them drying, because I keep them separate. I wear the knockoffs together and I don't mix my socks up. I tie my socks in a knot because if you fold your socks, you wear out the rubber in them. So I always tie my socks. And I dated a girl. Back in maybe 81. I dated her back in 81 and she's like, "Oh, you roll your socks, tie your socks." And I've tied my socks ever since I dated that girl. I barely remember what she looks like. Definitely don't remember her name. But I've done that habit. I have done that habit. Well, I ain't really got much. So just thank you guys. I'll be on again later this week to give my picks, like I normally do. As I said, I'm 89, 87, 39, and 1. And if I lose tonight, I'll be 87, 40, and 1. So